Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. You are watching the 12 DIYs of Christmas and today's video is all about DIY decorations on a very tight budget. So I'm going to be sharing some very simple DIY ideas in today's video that you can make using things that you can probably find in your local £1 or $1 store and some bits and pieces you can make out of paper. So hopefully this inspires you to get crafty if you're living a frugal Christmas this year, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So without further ado, let's jump in. First up is this paper advent calendar, and I think this is my favourite project I have made for this whole year. I love it. This is actually an advent calendar with activities on it. So what you'll need for this are gift tags, and you can buy these in Poundland or anywhere really. They're very inexpensive. I actually used a lot of them off this sheet of scrapbook paper, which cost me I think 89p or 79p. And then what I'm doing is I'm using these stampers that I actually picked up in Poundland and then stamping out the activities that I want, like decorating the tree and going to see Christmas lights, watching movies and things like that, and then cutting them out. I thought that this way, if I messed it up, it wouldn't be too bad. I could just make another one without messing up the cards, plus they had patterns on the back anyway. You can write this, don't have to get fancy with stampers. I was just feeling a little bit extra Christmassy today. I made sure that I had a variety of different pieces, 24 in total, and then I went ahead and punched holes in my scrapbook paper pieces. Now it's time to assemble the advent calendar, and you can literally just hang this on your wall with a piece of string, but I went the extra mile and put mine on 2 pieces of plywood that I already had cut up. So I just attached a piece of string to the front of my plywood and I staple gunned it to the back, and then I used 2 pieces of plywood, so I had 12 tags on each piece because they are pretty big, they take up a lot of space. So I went ahead and arranged those in the order that I wanted and then started tying them on. For some of them I used these cute little mini clothes pegs, and these were from Tiger, and for others I tied them on using the string that they came with or just a piece of string that I already had. I also added cute little mini present toppers for a little bit of an extra something. So this is my advent calendar. You'll notice I didn't put any numbers on it. I kind of want the activities to be a surprise on the day that I pick them out. Then once I'm done, I'll just take the piece of paper and store it for next year. But you can label these with numbers if you would like. I think it's a really nice gift idea for a friend or a loved one. I am such a dog person, so I had to make some DIY dog ornaments for my Christmas tree. These would also make a really nice gift idea for anybody who absolutely loves dogs. You can use any kind of animal you would like, but I found these in Poundland. They had a set of lots of different types of dogs, so I picked out 3. All you want to do is spray paint your plastic animal gold or whatever colour you'd like, do a good few coats, and then make sure that it's dry completely before you start adding ribbons and things. I wanted to add little bows, so I used some of this ribbon from Tiger, and then I just folded it like you can see here. To do this, just cross the ends over and glue them in place, and then flip the bow over, add a little bit more glue at the back, and then just push that loop down into the glue and hold it in place. Then add a tiny bit more glue around the back, use another piece of ribbon to fold over the back and the front, and then glue it in place. And then you have a tiny bow ready to be placed onto your dog. So to attach it, just take a piece of wire and bend it gently in the middle so you have a loop. Then you just want to bend the ends to 90-degree angles pointing into the same direction because these are going to be glued onto the back of the dog. So just take your hot glue gun, add a generous blob of hot glue, stick your wire into it, add a little bit more hot glue on top of it to secure it in place, and hold it for about 60 seconds. Then once it's dry, add your bow to the back of the dog or whatever animal you're using, and you should have something that looks a little like this. Switch up the colour of the bows just to make it a little bit different, and then go ahead and place them on your tree or around your room. Next up is this cute squishy candy cane ornament, and you'll never guess what it's made out of. Let me tell you, it's something from Poundland, and I have about 100 of them floating around my bedroom. It is these bendy hair rollers. I don't know why I have so many of these. I never even use them, but you can get them in Poundland, so this is a cheap DIY. All you want to do is add a blob of hot glue close to the top and then wrap your wool or yarn around the bendy roller. I'm using red and white, classic candy cane colours. When you're ready to switch colours, leave the first string underneath the new string because that way you don't have to cut it, and then just use a little piece of glue and then start stringing the next piece around, wrap it all the way until you're happy with it, and then just switch the strings over when you want to switch the colours again. By the end, you should have something that looks a bit like this. All you have to do is pinch the top of it, bend it over into a candy cane shape, and then literally just pop it onto your tree just like that. It's so simple and very affordable, plus you can recycle those really annoying rollers that you might have lying around. Next up is this cute little winter scene. It's very simple to make, and most of these bits came from either Ikea or Poundland, so it's also very budget friendly. I started with these wooden signs from Poundland. If you can't find these near where you live, you might find something similar in a craft store or anywhere that sells Christmas decorations. So what I needed to do was saw the pieces off, like so. Be careful if you're doing this. I just needed to get rid of the Merry Christmas so I could start making the winter scene, and for this I am using a shadow box frame. This was from Ikea. You don't have to do it in a shadow box frame, you could do this in a really large glass vase or something and then just have it open. You can do whatever you'd like, but I'm using the shadow box frame, and also this is a piece of scrapbook paper that I'm using to mount it onto. You can use wrapping paper for this, it's also very budget friendly. What you need to do is arrange your pieces and then glue your first piece down onto the backing. Once you've done that, you also then want to go ahead and glue the bottom of the feet of your next pieces into the shadow box frame, placing them slightly further forward from the last piece so it gives it a bit of dimension. I decided to add a little bit more glue to the feet just because I was worried about this falling over, but then once you're done you can go ahead and put some either fake snow in here, or I'm using this culotte stuff which is also from Ikea. It's vase filler and it's really inexpensive, and then you're done. So go ahead and close off your frame, tip the snow to the bottom, and you have a sweet little winter snow scene. I've always wanted to try decorating those cone trees that you see all over Pinterest and in magazines, but I can never find the polystyrene cones to make them, and paper just seems too flimsy. So I improvised a little bit and picked up these orange traffic cone things from Poundland. They're for a football game, and all I did was cut the bottom off to make it into a plain cone shape. Once I was happy with it, I went ahead and spray painted it with this metallic gold spray paint. I should have used primer because this is plastic and the paint just slid off it. I had to do 3 coats. It was really tedious, but it did cover it in the end. I'm decorating my cone with these bead garlands that you can pick up in Poundland. They're really inexpensive, and I'm just using a hot glue gun to do this. So I just glued a little bit and then laid down some of the beads and then glued a little bit more and then wrapped the beads, and then I just continued this process all the way up the cone. This would be so much fun to do with so many different craft supplies like beads or pom-poms or tinsel. You can do anything with this. The opportunities are endless, and there were also 4 cones in the set, so you can make quite a few of these with just one set of the cones. This is how mine turned out, and because I only used half of the garland, it turned out to be about 75 pence to make, plus a little bit of spray paint and hot glue, but it's a really inexpensive craft. So that is everything for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it got you motivated to get crafty and not have to spend a fortune on Christmas decorations this year, because let's face it, Christmas is expensive. So with all of that being said, if you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That lets me know that you like it. And I think that's everything. So have a great day, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!